Hello, Beez Bladers. Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I am so glad you are here to share this one with me. I'm going to get right to it after I say thank you to my channel members, thank you subscribers, and thank you patrons for making this absolutely awesome. This is the KUBEY KU322, and I will have a link in the description to all the knives you see in this video, including this bad boy, or at least what I hope is going to be a bad boy. So this, I've already taken it out of the package, out of the other package, is the KUBEY KU337. Now, it's listed as something as with the word stout in it, but we'll find out and see if this is actually a different version or not of the MONSTERDOG. Are you ready? Are you set? Pow. So that's all you get. Nothing else in there. You get the little, I was going to say cue card, little cue card going on. Get that action, a little bit of that action. And KUBEY always comes in a nice heavy-duty sealed, what do you call it? I don't know, not Ziploc. I don't know, a sealed bag. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to get into this one. And of course, you get a little bit of the troll candy. Here it is. Ooh, man, look at that. It does look stout. And from what I know so far, and we're going to figure this out just shortly, is that you have the MONSTERDOG, and then there's another one that's labeled stout, but they might be talking about a stout blade. And we'll find out. And I'm thinking this is going to be the MONSTERDOG because it looks like it's 160 thousandths of an inch. Yes. Here's this side. Ooh, 14C28 in Sandvik, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Nice and clean look. Let's see what this blade looks like. Pow! Right in the kisser. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. Now that reminds me something. I'm not sure. Some kind of animal. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. This is reminding me of something. I just can't picture what it is. It almost kind of looks like the snout. If you look at the KUBEY symbol, it kind of looks like the snout of a monkey, or I don't know. I don't know. You guys are going to have to help me out on this one. So we'll do the specs in less than 60 seconds, and then we'll know for sure which one this is. Okay, I have confirmed what this bad boy is, and I am going to guess, wow, this feels like the Mannix in my hand. I'm going to go with 4.9. Bam! Oh, yes! That is the best I think I've ever done. Not a tenth off. That is sweet! Oh, man. Seem to do my best guesses when it's just a hair under 5 ounces. That's freaking awesome. All right. That was awesome. Are you ready? Are you set? All right. So your total length from tip to tip is 7 inches. You have Sandvik 14C28N blade steel. You have this sheep's foot. I'm calling it a modified sheep's foot with a black stone wash. Your total blade length right from here to the tip is 2.9 inches. And your sharpened blade length is 2.85 inches. Your blade width is 1.09 inches. And your blade stock thickness is confirmed. It's 159 thousandths of an inch. This is the MONSTERDOG. And your thickness behind the edge was 22 to 23 thousandths of an inch. Your handle material is a very nice grippy G10. Your close length from tip to tip is 4.21 inches. Handle width is 1.21 inches. Your close width at the highest point is 1.66 inches. Your handle thickness is 0.56 inches. You have a thumb stud disc, I don't know what you want to call it. We're going to see what's in the pivot because we're going to take it apart. We're going to break it down, disassemble it. And this is a liner lick. It's a liner lick. You liner licker, dirty liner licker. And it has a reversible tip up deep carry pocket clip, T8 body screws, T6 is in the clip, and this is an Osarenko design, and it's the model KU337. So that's a prime example of why I measure my knives, is because a lot of times they're not listed, you know, I'm like, who's measuring these? So I like checking myself because from site to site, the measurements will vary for the same knife. And that's why I wasn't sure because this was described as stout. Well, they were talking about how stout the knife is. And by the way, you could get this one and the jade version for around 55, 56 bucks. I'll put links in the description. There's also a titanium version. And then there's one with, what do you call it? Damascus. So I'll put versions and different links, all that stuff down in there in the description for you. See if it'll cut a piece of paper, you know, because that's what we all use our knives for, right? Cutting paper. And that's why you would need such a stout knife. Oh, not too bad, not too bad. Not too shabby. If I can get a good angle on it. Oh yeah, it's got a good edge on it. Yeah, I'll take it. Very nice. All right, let me take you on a nice up close little journey here. Oh, nice. Very nice. I like that stone wash. It has a good grind. How are we looking on this side? Pretty even grind. Not too shabby. There's your KUBEY, and then you have these discs that have plenty of jimping all the way around. We'll check out that here in just a second. Some, ooh, yeah, nice grippy, juicy. Was I going to say juicy or jimping? We have some nice grippy, juicy jimping on top. There's your, oh my gosh, I'm cracking myself. All right, slow down, bees. Ooh, nice, very nice. How about some texture vision? There's your texture. Oh, yeah. Texture for days. Love it. It feels great. That is my kind of texture right there. Blacked out hardware. There's a big old lanyard hole. You put a rope through that bad boy. And nice. No. Oh, yeah. I'm liking this. No sharp edges or chamfered. See how it's softened on the edges there? No, none of that 90-degree business. Nice. So it is nice and soft, if you would have called it that, all the way around. I really enjoy that. And how is our, oh man, this thing, it is built like a small tank. There's no blade play, up or down, left or right. And how about our lockup? Let's see, lockup's about, let's say around 30%. And are we centered? Yes, look at that tip. I mean, would you look at the tip? Holy cow. It's like a miniature axe. This thing, you're not going to snap that off unless you're doing some serious knife abuse. What kind of detent we have here? Not the strongest detent in the world. We'll check that out when we're checking out deployment and our pocket clip. All right, not too bad. It's not inset into the G10, but you don't have any mushrooms growing in the shade there. No screws sticking up, so the screws are flat. So let's check and see what it goes in and out of the pocket. Oh yeah, easy peasy, lemon squeezy in and out of the pocket. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do some quick size comparisons. All right, here it is up against the QSP Penguin. And you know, it's not that much thicker than the Penguin. And we'll try it up against a few here. And you already know the drill. I want you to get an idea of the size of this knife. So here's the Spyderco Tenacious. And, oh yeah, this one's back in stock. That's what I'm talking about. Man, I don't know how many people wanted this knife when it came out. The Kizer Towser K. It's got like the best action on the planet. Maybe not, but I don't know. It's arguable. So there's those two. And let's throw some more up here. Actually, let's set them down gently. Here's the CJRB More My Leah and the Spyderco Delica 4. So yeah, it's about the same length as the Delica 4 and the More My Leah. Yeah, now we're getting it narrowed down. How about this one? This is the Tucson. I think it's the TS319. Don't quote me on it. I'll fact check and put it up on the screen if I'm wrong. I absolutely love this knife. It's a CM design and one of my favorites. Yeah. If you follow the channel, you already know that's the Kizer Deviant. Look at that. So, okay, now I've got it dialed in. The QSP Penguin. If you don't have a Penguin, you should really think about it. One of the most awesome EDC knives, and they're still the same price they were like a year ago. And how about this one? I haven't showed this one, the Civivi Elementum. A lot of folks like the Elementum. It's right in that size range, that perfect EDC size range, but it is a MONSTERDOG looking knife. And I wanted to see what it looked like. Okay, all right. So here's the Kizer Mini Sheepdog, and then the KUBEY KU332. All right, okay. I thought it was going to be closer to the Mini Sheepdog, but it's not. It has more handle, more blade, but they all have that kind of modified sheep's footy, Warncliffey sheep's footy, not Warncliffey, but more sheep's footy, hybridy, make up wordsy. Okay, now for some action. And speaking of action, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss what's coming up here very soon on the channel. Hit the subscribe button, and then right next to it, hit that bell button. And above that bell button, hit the all button, the all word, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That way you won't miss what's coming up. So, how about action? Well, there's no flipper, so it's nice and smooth up here. Oh yeah, it's nice. I mean, the first time I did it, I was like, oh yeah. It's dropping very well. Just a little bit of help from gravity, just giving it just a tad. Oh man, if this gets any smoother after disassembly, it's gonna be drop shutty. It's almost drop shutty. So it's really easy to deploy. Can I reverse flick it? Oh yes, all day long. Pow, right in the kisser. Yeah, a couple shakes. Man, oh man, that is nice. How about left-handed? Easy to operate, and you know what I just discovered if you follow the channel? Yep. Very easy to break down. It doesn't have a big pass-through, but look at here. You almost can't see it, but see those nubbins? See the little jimping right there? nice jimping, just a perfect amount where I don't have to dig my finger in. My thumb just, oh yeah, that's some good jimps right there. I wouldn't mind a little more pass through. I mean, there's really no pass through. It's just the jimping that's sticking up. You know me, I'm a sucker for really easy to break down, but it's not taking any pressure at all. It's easy to access. So I really appreciate that. I think I can reverse flick it. Yes, reverse flick on the left hand. That's what I'm talking about. All right. My hand is 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger, 7.25. Let's see what the ergos are looking like. Oh yeah. So it has a little more handle than the KU332. And I'm giving it some good grip, and it doesn't have a forward choil, but it's kind of like the whole thing is a choil. I mean, I like the lines. Look at the lines of this bad boy. Just, it's like a giant choil. So my first 2 fingers just kind of fall in here naturally, and then the last 2. So if you have extra large hands, you're going to be able to fit your pinky in there, no problem. So how does it feel? Pushing? Oh, okay, so definitely. That jimping is awesome. That is some great jimping if you're doing some push cuts where you're choked back. But yeah, that is pretty cool. I like that. How about, you know what? I didn't think, it looks like it sweeps up, but it really doesn't. Your point's below the pivot. Your tip goes, just the tip, goes right to the surface. This is going to be a good utility knife. This is a seriously good work knife, especially for the price. It's so solid. I mean, it's so solid. I love it. Yes, I like it when a knife just, it fills my hand. It fills my hand. See the ergos? Let me move around here. See how my thumb just falls on there? Focus. See how my thumb just falls on there? That's comfortable when I'm choked back, but getting up in there to do some cutting, yeah, you're going to be in it to win it. And the pocket clip sticks out back here. It does not hit my hand when I'm choked up because you can go all the way. It's just like, that is pretty cool. It's like the world's largest finger choil. I mean, you're up there. You're in it to win it. I like that. I'm enjoying that. And reverse grip, yeah, reverse grip's good. You're set. You're good all day long on ergos. I don't have any sharp spots at all. Nothing's bothering me. Yes, I'm loving it. You know what? Before I dote any more on this thing, let's take it apart real quick, and then we'll come back and give final thoughts. All right, I haven't showed the set in a while, but this is pretty much about all you need to do your maintenance on your knives. You can get some KPL knife pivot lube, get you some doodads. That's what I call them. They're little swabbies. I have 10% off discount codes to White Mountain Knives, Lancelot Leather, I mean, all kinds of discounts, and I have all my maintenance and all that stuff. If you look at this side of your screen, there's just a wide-shaped V. If you're on a cell phone, tap that V and you'll see all the links to everything I recommend and all my discount codes and every knife, everything that you see in my videos. If you want to go check it out, there'll be a link in the description. You can go check it out and get you a Weehaw bit set. If you go on Amazon and you get the wrong set not Weehaw, but if you get the wrong set of bits, they will strip on you and then you will regret it. I'm just telling you right now. And this one, if you're a Beez Hive member, you already know what I'm talking about. This is a backup driver, right? And I have to remember, there's new folks in the channel every week, every video, and I have to make sure that they know about this awesome stuff. All right, so let's get in here and check this out. I'm thinking this is going to be a relatively simple disassembly, and this is a T8 that I'm using. And oh yeah, it broke easy. Now I'm going to go to my fancy one. And I do have links to Get Good Screw. That's where this fancy one came from. And I don't see any thread locker on there. And pretty much just, there might be a tad. This is what I do personally, okay? I disassemble them, and then I flip my knives. You know, I flip them and flick them and all that stuff. And if the pivot moves, and what I mean by the pivot moving, if the blade starts moving towards one side or the other, then it probably means I need to take it apart or take the pivot out and put a little bit of thread locker in there, let it set for a day, and that'll keep my blade from moving. So before I keep on blabbing too much, let's get this dude apart because, you know, well, some folks don't want to hear me blab, but other folks don't mind. You know, it's kind of like a familiar voice. Just like when I see you all in the live chats and on my live streams on Friday nights. By the way, Beez Blades, live at the Hive. Oh, right. You know I had to say that. So really quickly, before I have a squirrely my Carta moment. Your back screw is definitely longer than the front one, so I'm just going to keep them in there, and you can see just a little bit of blue thread locker on there. I'm just going to set that over here very carefully. And boom, there you go. And you can use any kind of cloth. I like using these microfiber cloths just because they tend to not leave crap behind. And I have some, what do you call that? Rubbing alcohol to rub on the knife to clean it. And it's pretty clean other than just the lube that's on there. Let's just wipe that off because we're going to put our own. Very nice. You can see how it's nice and milled out all the way through. Very nice. I'm going to disengage this and see. Oh yeah, it comes right off. Very nice. All right, so let's get this wiped off. So there you go. This is going to be a, well, easy disassembly. We'll see about the reassembly. And showing you my favorite, one of my favorite parts of disassembly is getting a good look at those ceramic ball bearings. That's what I'm talking about. So there's your bearings, and you can see the open side of the bearings is facing inwards toward the blade. And then on this side, they're facing inwards. See, that's the open side. They're both going to fit into that notch. Now I'll show you, here's the open side that was facing the inside of the blade. That's how you can remember. See there? Now if I hold them at the same angle, you can't hardly tell on camera. Kind of looks the same, right? Just because of the angle and the lighting and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to wipe them off and clean them. And if you're new to the channel, check us out Friday nights at the Hive. We have so much fun at the live streams. And if you're new, I mean, there's no better place to be if you're new, or if you've been in the knife community forever, or if you're just getting back into knives, you're just discovering all these new knives that are out there. I'm getting that a lot. Folks would be like, you know, I've had knives forever, and I just found out that there's all these knives out there that they don't have it. You know, well, I was going to say Kmart, but I don't even know if Kmart's around anymore. But, you know, your typical, what do you call those? Retailers, a lot of them don't have them. You know, they just have just a few. See, we are getting some stuff on there, so I think that's going to make a little bit of a difference. And I do love it when you all point out, I was yelling at my screen. I was like, dude, you forgot this, you forgot that. I do get a little squirrely. You'll find that out on the live stream too. I try to keep track of everything at the same time. It does get a little funny. And do we have a D-shaped pivot? No, we do not. So we don't have a D-shaped pivot, but something on the other side is keeping that pivot from spinning, because it was really easy to, let's see, do we have a little notch? Yes. So see right there, we have a notch in the G10, and then that is going to match that notch right there. That's how you know you're going to have your pivot facing the right direction, and it keeps it from spinning. How about that? How about that? All right, so there's your knife. And while I had that pivot out, I didn't wipe it off. Not that I have to. I mean, if you get your knife dirty, this is giving you an idea of how you can take it apart and clean it. Now, some knife manufacturers, it voids the warranty if you take it apart. But then again, in my experience, most of these knives in the budget category, I've never had it hurt any of them. But that's just something to keep in mind. Now, I'm going to get my little doodad. And the reason I use these, in case you didn't know, is I'm heavy-handed, and I tend to put too much on there. I'm just going to put a little bit around and then put some on the pivot. And if you're drinking your morning coffee or having breakfast this morning, breakfast with bees, good morning. And if it's the afternoon and you're having lunch, well, good afternoon. What are you having? Turkey sandwich? And that's something else, is you guys always support me with your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't think I ever get tired of it. It not only gives me some engagement and gives me more of a feeling of knowing you all, but it also helps and supports the channel. It helps support the videos. So I know there's some of you that comment and you're like, you know, I don't have anything to say about that knife, but you comment just to support me, and I really, really appreciate that. It helps the channel more than you know. So I'm going to put this back in there, and I have it open side up because the open side is going to face the blade. And let's see, where's our stop pin? Did my stop pin roll off on me? Oh yeah, it did. There it is. All right, here's my stop pin. That dude goes here. So a lot of the KUBEYs, a lot of the knives are this easy to disassemble and reassemble. And don't put them backwards. Put this dude on here, and yes, I remembered. Oh, I know some of you were watching, about to start yelling at me through the screen. Here's the KPL Heavy. This I'm going to put in the detent hole, in the detent track. Get a little bit on there. Here we go. But that's all, folks. No, it's not. The heavy it's a little thicker viscosity. So right there is the detent hole. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that number. Put a little bit in that way. And then can you see that track, that semicircle there? That will get nice and wore in by that detent ball. And it will get slicker and slicker. And it will work even that much better. And I do use two different swabbies. I don't mix my oil or my, KPL oil, my lube. Just to put a little bit more on here. And then I think we're going to go back together swimmingly, very nicely. So, yes, I'm being rewarded with a couple nice disassemblies. I had a couple rough ones there. And hopefully I'm not missing something because I'm talking here. But I had a couple rough ones. It's nice to do the normies. All right, let's put this dude back on, and let's see, is everything fitting into place? Does it feel like everything's going into place? Everything looks good. So let's put our pivot in and find out. We'll find out here in just a second. But thank you all for supporting the channel. You're freaking awesome. I'm always looking forward to Fridays because me and Mrs. Beez have so much fun with you guys and you gals. I love it that there's so many women in the knife community that are getting more involved. That is so awesome. And my wife, Mrs. Beez, the queen bee, she always comes to the live streams and helps me out. Helps me out when I'm doing a terrible job at, well, let's put it this way. She after the pocket check, and by the way, that's something else we do, is we say, hey, what'd you carry today? What knife's in your pocket? We do a pocket check. We check out new knives that are out. Sometimes we do unboxings. I always do giveaways on the live streams. So let's see. How do we feel? A little bit of play, so I got to tighten it down a little bit more. All right, let's see how it feels. Oh, man, that is rock solid. All right, feels good. Are we centered? Yes, dead centered. How's the action? Ooh, pretty good. So I'm going to see if I can back it off just a hair. Just a hair. The tiniest bit. Just a little bit. But still be solid. Okay, we're still rock solid. Pretty good action. Not too shabby. I'm going to see if I can back it off a little bit more and still be solid, because that's how I'm going to get the best action. It's not all about having the best action, but that is something that makes it fun for me. Ooh, that's pretty nice. And we're still solid. All right, let's go to the big screen. Okay, so what do I think about it? Well, oh yeah. Now that I have more room, yes, the action did improve. It's a little bit smoother. Just a couple points, definitely, for sure. I can tell it's nice and smooth. So all in all, the ergos are good. They feel really good. I like how you're right up there next to the cutting surface. You're not losing any space. You get up in it, and it has really good jimping for doing push cuts. And as far as sharpening, you're good with your sharpening. The plunge grind stops way up here, so you've got sharpening room for days. It's going to be a hefty knife. I'm not scared about breaking the tip off of this one. Absolutely not. Would you look at that? I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. I mean, a couple of the versions are up around the 70 mark, and then there's the, there's one of these, I don't know if I told you earlier, in all titanium. Whoo, it's pretty cool. But it has Sandvik 14C28N steel. This stuff gets sharp, and it stays sharp. It's a great steel. I love 14C28. So yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing many negatives. It's not going to be the super sliciest knife because it's so chunky. So if you're cutting through cardboard, you're going to be able to tell with this compared to, say, one of my Spydercos. It's probably about 120 thousandths thickness. This one's about 159, 160 thousandths. So you're going to notice if you're going through thicker material like that. But as far as a work knife, yeah, this dude's going to take not some abuse, but this one is going to be a good work knife. I like it. So tell me what you think about it. And if you don't have an opinion about it, tell me what you had for breakfast, or both. But until I talk to you next time, remember to live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.